I didn't upload a video today because there are a lot of things happening currently in my life. On a personal front, maybe I will update you guys about what's happening, but I do have some videos that I'd pre-filmed, but I just didn't upload them because, yeah, just not in the right mental space. So did not upload any video. I have two videos, very interesting videos that I have pre-recorded, but I just didn't get time to like edit my videos, and yep, hence they are not uploaded to the channel yet. Hi everyone, those who have joined, thank you for joining in. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comment section and I will try to answer those questions. But yeah, just general checking in. How are you guys feeling? The lockdown situation in. Hi Ramneek, hi Savita. The lockdown situation in Australia is getting worse day by day. So that's the first update that I have for you guys. I think most of my viewers are in India, and I know the situation is quite better over there, but not in Australia anymore. We have almost 2,000 cases in Australia currently. So things are not looking good. New South Wales is in lockdown. Victoria is in lockdown as well. And I talked about this in my last live session about the 4-phase plan that Australia has come up with. I have it on my screen so that I don't I don't talk about it vaguely. So I have it on my screen. So the first phase is vaccination. Um, yeah, vaccination. You'll be shocked to know that most of us in Australia are not vaccinated yet. At least the people I know are not vaccinated. I'm not vaccinated. My husband is not vaccinated. The two vaccines available are AstraZeneca and Pfizer. And there's news that came recently that Australia has secured 85 million doses of Pfizer. So hopefully people will get vaccinated pretty soon. That's just a hope. The second phase would be no, Australia is not open for tourists. It is not open for anyone who is not a citizen. So we have repatriation. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Flights. So if you're an Australian citizen, only then you are allowed to to enter Australia. If you're not supposed to. Yes, I am Indian. I'm an Indian. I just lose my chat, so I will have to look at it. Um, Hi, Amy. How are you? I am doing okay. Not so good. Lockdown life. Um, YouTube. Are you Indian? Yes, I am an Indian. Hi, ma'am. What about Western Australia? Share some news about it. Western Australia is fine. They have lesser number of cases. The best part about Western Australia is as soon as they hear that East Coast में सब गड़बड़ हो रहा है, so we have a lot of cases coming up on the eastern coast. They just lock the borders for everyone, so they are like safe. They have lesser number of cases. So I was talking about the 4-phase plan that Australia has released. First phase is vaccination. We are not vaccinated. It will take a lot of time for all the people in Australia to get vaccinated. The second phase is post vaccination. So this means that lockdowns will happen only when it's absolutely necessary. So avoiding lockdowns, because currently most parts of Australia are in lockdown. Western Australia is not in lockdown. We have some cases in Queensland, New South Wales, we have a lot of cases. Victoria, we have a I don't know. We have some cases, and even in South Australia, we are having some COVID cases in the past 1 week. So yes, we have a few cases in Australia currently. The situation is serious because imagine the population of Australia is small as compared to India. So even 2,000 cases is a huge deal for us. So phase two is post-vaccination, so making lockdowns bare minimum. Phase three would be consolidation, which means um, there will be no lockdowns by this phase. And when we reach phase four, it will be the new normal where we would treat COVID as a flu, which is very funny. I can't ever treat COVID as a flu, but Mr. Scott Morrison thinks that we will treat COVID as a flu and the borders would open. So it's a long route, guys. borders are not opening anytime soon. That's what I feel, personal opinion. I'm not from the government, so I don't know. But trust me, looking at what's happening currently, I have no idea when borders would open. I think nahi khulne wala itni jaldi. It's been 1.5 years since I've seen my family. A lot of us are missing our families. There have been so many petitions that we have signed um, to get our parents recognized as immediate family members, but that's not happening. So even your family members, if you're a citizen of Australia and your family, like your parents, are not Australian citizens, they can't come into Australia. Very grim situation. To answer the question that everybody wants me to answer, borders नहीं खुल रहे इस साल तो बिल्कुल नहीं खुलने वाले हैं. We didn't even get we haven't got our first dose of vaccination. Imagine they will only open when everybody is like maximum population is vaccinated fully, which means you get your you get both doses of your vaccine. That's not happening, to be very honest, anytime soon. So yeah, borders are not opening anytime soon. I'll try to answer some questions. Give reference best visa consultants in Melbourne. Um, I have no idea about Melbourne because my visa consultant was not was is in India. And he it's a male, so he helped both me, my husband, a lot of our friends to get our visas to get into Australia. So yeah, I have no idea about someone in Melbourne, but I know someone in Delhi because our consultant was in Delhi, is in Delhi. Um, I will try to answer some more questions. So Ashok, I'm sorry, I don't know anyone in Melbourne, but yeah, if you want, I can share my consultant's number, who is in Delhi. Um, what's an average expense for a couple? There may be in Melbourne or Tasmania. Okay, so Dhwani's question is, what is the income according to a merchandiser planner? Sorry, I didn't get that question. I can maybe answer the second part of your question. What is an average expense for a couple there, maybe in Melbourne or Tasmania? So for a couple, it depends on which state or city you're living in. The cost of living varies from state to state. So Tasmania is a very small island. It's a beautiful place. It's beautiful. It has zero COVID cases, another plus point, but Tasmania is a very small state. So the cost of living there is much lesser as compared to Sydney. I think Sydney is the most expensive city in Melbourne. Not in Melbourne, sorry, in Australia. And then I think it would be, yeah, Melbourne maybe. So anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 would be fine for a single person, but for a couple, I would say like 4,000 AUDs if you would want to live a life of comfort. Retail planner's job. Oh, Dhwani, I have no idea about that. I'm sorry. Um, but I'll still try to answer the second part of your question. So $4,000 for a couple, 4,000 Australian dollars for a couple would be sufficient for you to live a life of comfort. And I guess, yeah, again, it depends on where you are planning to live. So, for example, the cost of living in Adelaide is low as compared to Sydney. Sydney is very expensive, um, but even Tasmania is not that expensive. But yes, 3,000 to 4,000 is something you would aim to earn to have like a good, comfortable life here in Australia. Okay, I'm trying to answer some more questions. Vandana, hello, hi Vandana. Chatu D. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Love from Sri Lanka, love from India and Australia. Thank you so much. Would you recommend masters in computer science in Australia rather than USA? Very good question. The question I would like you to ask yourself is whether you want to live in Australia or whether you would want to live in US. We wanted to stay away from the US, and that's why we chose Australia. But a lot of the people, like यहाँ के local youth, people who are from Australia, they choose to do their masters in US because of exposure. So if you're planning to like migrate permanently, you will have to decide whether you want to live in Australia or whether you would want to live in US. Pros and cons. US is more um, it is more technologically advanced than Australia. There's no doubt about it. People who like some people prefer Australia over US because of the laid back culture and laid back lifestyle in Australia. So if you want that, you can choose Australia. If you want more of like a fast paced life, you can get glimpses of that in Australia as well. But if you want more fast paced life, you can choose USA. Um, I have quite a lot of friends who did masters in IT in the US, and they got their permanent, I don't know what's it called there, but like the permanent residency quite easily. But they did it like 3 years ago, so things have changed since then because of the pandemic. But if culture wise you want to compare, you will have to choose whether you want to have like a laid back lifestyle in Australia, or you want a fast paced life. If a fast paced life is something you would want, then I guess USA would be where you should go. Um, Computer science. Anyways, otherwise, computer science or any STEM course or IT is a really good option in Australia because we always have a scarcity of STEM teachers and STEM students and STEM professionals. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We have a scarcity of these professionals in Australia. So I I would definitely recommend that you come to Australia because I love Australia. But if you want to have like a fast-paced lifestyle, again, USA would be somewhere to look at. Retail planner's job. I think 20. I said I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. What is the cost of living in Adelaide? Um, Again, as I said, it I can just Vandan, I can share a range, but Adelaide is I think it has topped the list of not it's not the number one, but it is in the top five of most livable cities in the world. So definitely Adelaide is a that's a disclaimer. Adelaide is a beautiful place and I would love to visit Adelaide, but lockdown खत्म ही नहीं होता है कि कहीं जा पाए हम. But Adelaide, the cost of living is less as compared to Melbourne and Sydney. For sure, again, 3,000 to 4,000 something you would be looking at. But what I so just a basic disclaimer, when you're talking about the cost of living as an immigrant, the major chunk of your income goes towards your rent because khana wana yaar, it's always approximately it's the same everywhere. It's about the rent. And honestly, renting a space in Sydney is like it's a massive deal. It's very expensive. I pay 1,500 for this house, which is a unit, which is a 2 BHK unit. The same unit would cost you 2,500 almost in Sydney, 22 to 2,500 in a similar suburb. And I don't live near the city. I live 10 kilometers away from the city. In Adelaide, this house would cost you 1,200 Australian dollars a month. So it's cheaper. It's it's a smaller city as compared to Melbourne, but yeah, the lifestyle is good. So Adelaide again, I would say 3,000 to 4,000, but that's just a vague range. Some more questions. Ma'am, you had IT sector like IT sector, guys. All the Indian IT companies operate in Australia. So TCS, like these are not Indian companies. TCS is an Indian company, but the others that I'm going to take names of, they're not Indian companies, but these companies are in India as well. So all the multinational MNCs, Accenture, Deloitte. Deloitte is a consultancy firm, but Dell, mm, now I can't remember, Infosys, all of them are here as well. So if you are working in any of these in India and you're planning to move to Australia, I've talked about this several times. Suppose you get on a skilled visa list and you get the visa and you're here, apply to these companies where you have experience of working in India. So, for example, if you were in Accenture India, come here and apply in Accenture Australia. Most probably, you will get a job. get a job. Sorry, you will get that chance. You will get the job. So if you are in the IT field in India already and you're planning to move to Australia, please apply to the organization where you have already worked in. So my husband was working in Dell back in India. He got his first job within a month in Australia, in Dell, Australia. So get that referral and apply in the same company that you will, like, you can apply to a lot of companies, but it's easier to get into the company that you were working in India. So that's my biggest advice for anyone who's looking for jobs in IT. In fact, for me, I work in, I think I've talked about this. I work for Teach for Australia. I was working in Teach for India back in India, came here. They saw that I was working with a sister organization, and they knew I knew the value of the values of the organization and a mission and a vision. And I was completely aligned. I gave the interview and I got the job. So you will have that advantage over someone who doesn't have experience of working with the same organization. So please get that, like, if you can get referrals, well and good. If not referrals, fine, just apply for the job. So for IT, that works fine. And referrals work like magic in the IT industry. That is something I can tell you for sure because my husband is in the IT industry and I know that. Okay, let's move to some other questions. Uh, Okay, I missed a lot of questions. Western Australia better than Melbourne or Sydney for living? What's your personal opinion? Cute King. I don't know. Kyuki. Unfortunately, ever since I've moved to Australia, I've been in lockdown, so my life has been kind of pathetic. But I would love to like visit Western Australia. I can't compare if life is better in Western Australia or not, but some of our friends have migrated to Western Australia, like Perth from Sydney, and they love it. So I am sure कुछ तो बात होगी Perth में, Western Australia में, that people love it so much. See, the basic thing is that most of Australia's population lives on the eastern coast. So there's a like, I wouldn't say it's a crowd, but the population density is quite high on the eastern coast. It's less on the western coast. Um, so yeah, most of the jobs in the western coast or Western Australia would be mining because वहाँ बहुत सारे mines है. So if you are someone from the mining industry, you can look at Western Australia as an option. Um, Personally, I love Sydney. That is because, yeah, we have a lot of friends and family in Sydney. I would anytime move to Sydney. मुझे मौका मिले तो I would leave Melbourne and move to Sydney, although it's expensive. But yeah, I don't have any experience with the Western Coast, so I don't know. But I'm sure it's a very nice place because oh, amazing fact here, most of my colleagues are from Perth, and yeah, they would want to move back to Perth. But yeah, job opportunities are more on the eastern coast because the population density is higher here. So people often migrate from like Western Australia to Sydney and Melbourne. Okay, let's look at some of the other questions. Is there any chance of software engineer for offshore candidates this year? I would say, I don't want to say no. But the second thing is, I am not a migration agent, so I can't give you any legal advice. This is just my opinion. But I think they need IT professionals for sure. But the number of, not the number of, the the professions they're giving priority right now is to doctors, nurses, lab scientists, so all these veterinarians, so all these professions, and not IT professionals, because they have people within Australia itself who can like work in the IT industry. So that's not a priority for them. So not this year for sure, but in the future. See, Australia is a migrant country. The entire economy depends on the migrant population, and if they stop like getting people who are so skilled in, for example, IT or doctors, they wouldn't be able to survive. So if they want to survive, they will have to open applications for software engineers because, as I told you, there's a scarcity of STEM candidates here in Australia itself. So not this year, but I'm sure there would be a chance um, in the coming years for sure. AM Creations. Hi, ma'am. Hi, AM. Um, which is the best city to live in? Now, according to whatever index that was, Adelaide is the best city to live in. To be honest, I haven't been to Adelaide. I've just been to a few regional city like towns in Victoria, in New South Wales, and one of the towns in South Australia. So I don't know, but I think even Melbourne is a nice city to live in if you can like bear the weather, the extreme weather, which is very annoying for a few people like me. I am annoyed with the weather, but otherwise it's a very peaceful and very clean, um, a happy vibe city. A city with sorry, a city with a happy vibe, I would say. So yeah, it depends on your needs. Yeah. So according to me, Sydney is the best city. But if you would ask someone else, they would say something else. How's the school education there? School education is very good. I don't have kids, but I have like few of our friends. They have kids. Like one of them is like a teenager, so like 13, 14 years, and he's in that age when we in India. That happened with me. We put a lot of pressure on our kids to study. यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. They don't force you to like study for 10 hours and then give these exams. It's pretty chill and relaxed. The students learn by doing things. So it's like I like it's a practical based approach to learning. They're involved in a lot of sports, so a lot of exposure. Even the government schools are really good. Like most of our friends send their kids to government schools, so you don't need to spend a lot of money sending them to these hi-fi private schools. Because honestly, as a new immigrant, sending your kids to private school would be an expensive affair. So yeah, I would send my kids to a government school for sure if I ever have kids, because yeah, government schools are really good here in Australia. Okay. Um, I think I missed it. Oh, okay. आप भी बता सकते हो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी में क्या फर्क होगा सिडनी में और एडलेड लाइक रीजनल एरिया में? Okay, job opportunity, of course. Think about working in Delhi or Bangalore versus working in like a tier three, tier two, tier three city, Kanpur, or maybe Lucknow. There are jobs. I will not say there are no jobs because I have like a bunch of friends who live in Adelaide and they're all in like good organizations earning good money. They were on a two of them were on a 491 visa and they got their like permanent residency because they completed the 3 year thing. So there will be lesser amount of job opportunities. That happens with any country. As I said, in India, if you compare Delhi to Kanpur or Lucknow, that would happen. But there are job opportunities. And knowing that you will not get an invite for a 189, it's okay if you want to apply for a 491. 3 saal ki baat hai. Finish that up, apply for a PR, you will get the PR. Everybody gets the PR. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Just spend that time in the regional area and then you will get. But there are job opportunities. To be honest, Indians थोड़े I I take a lot of pride in saying this कि हम बहुत मेहनती होते हैं हमें जॉब मिल जाती है हम literally मेहनत करते हैं तो हमें जॉब मिल जाती है so you will get the job थोड़ा जॉब 19-20 का फर्क होगा there will be lesser jobs in smaller cities but yeah that shouldn't stop you from applying for a visa in a regional area for sure life is better in regional areas rather than living in like big cities to be honest okay uh 1 lakh salary enough for living in Australia? 1 lakh is $2,000. मतलब not 2,000 उससे कम ही होगा. No, it's not enough. To be honest, this will be very less. Um, yeah, it will be very less. तो रोहित, I'm sorry, 1 लाख तो कम होगा. Best city to live for IT jobs. IT jobs, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, सब जगह है IT jobs. IT is anywhere. And the best part about IT jobs currently in Australia is सबको पता चल गया है कि because of COVID, remote working is the best thing. So most of the organizations are like, they will hire you, but they will tell you that you can work from home. So it doesn't matter if you live in a regional town in Victoria, and you work for a big firm in Sydney, that's fine. Even my husband is working in an organization where he's allowed to work remotely. So yeah, IT ka to there's no limit now. You can sit anywhere and work for any organization. That's fine. So yeah. Um, but if you're planning for IT, see, Sydney is expensive, but if you, yeah, have people over there, you can definitely try to move to, like, apply for Sydney. Otherwise, I would say, yeah, Melbourne is a hot cake. Really, a lot of jobs in Melbourne in the IT industry. What is the maximum salary for software? Maximum salary तो कुछ नहीं होता है. I mean, $300, or it depends on your skill. You need to constantly upskill in IT, as I told you. So in the software development or software sector, starting salary is somewhere around 65 to 75,000 AUDs per annum, and then it increases based on your skill set. So yeah, it increases quite rapidly. मतलब अच्छा आपको growth मिलता है. But yeah, 300, 250 for senior level, yeah, IT professional is a normal thing. Um, Sina, thank you so much. How to learn easy English to live in Australia? Uh, how to learn English? Uh, like I don't know, like I wouldn't say like watch English movies and do all of that. Just try to think in English. You know what I mean? When you're thinking in English, अब मैं हिंदी में सोचूंगी और उसको ट्रांसलेट करूंगी ना इंग्लिश में, तो मैं गड़बड़ बोलने लग जाती हूँ. And to be very honest, the kind of English we used, I was just watching a video today, and there were terms that only we Indians use. So, for example, oh, I was out of station. If you use that here, they'll be like, what does out of station mean? So there are some words that are so typical to Indians that we use it, but Aussies don't get it. So just use your basic English with time. You will understand यहाँ का क्या है. ठीक है, आपको starting में struggle होगा. If you haven't watched my video, I've talked about this, that when I first moved to Australia 2 years ago, I was like struggling with English, and my English is like decent level, like ठीक है मेरी English, and I struggled. So जितनी भी आपको आती है, try to talk in English as much as you can. For example, I can talk in Hindi right now, but I'm trying because in my job I can't talk in Hindi because everyone is like they don't understand Hindi, so I can't use Hindi. So yeah, I had to train myself to think in English, speak in English, use simple sentences. Don't try to complicate things. But yeah, that's how you will learn. But having said all of that, it will take time. You will learn English very slowly. It's a time taking process. But yes, think in English. Don't try to translate it. पहले मैं ये बोलूँगा. First, I will say this. See, it's weird, right? Don't try to translate. And eventually you will learn it when you are here. क्योंकि दिन रात इंग्लिश में बात करनी है यार, आप सीख जाओगे. I will not advise you to go for courses. I mean, IELTS, that's a different thing, but otherwise, don't go for courses. Let me look at the questions. Best, I think Neha, I've answered. I've applied for 491 state nomination as mentioned. Muhammad, I am sorry. I have no idea what are the chances because, yeah, as I told you, I'm not a migration agent. So मुझे ये समझ नहीं आता कि ये कैसे choose करते हैं या ये क्या करते हैं. Honestly, I have no idea. So I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. How to learn Aussie accent quickly? You will learn the Aussie accent by just staying here and listening to people. So I was just talking to my husband. I was watching कोई show TV पे, and they were like, um, let's get cracking, or isn't it crackling? And I was like, oh my god, if I was in India, I wouldn't have understood this. Like, cracking, what's cracking? So it takes time, I started talking to my colleagues and I never understood what they were saying, but with time I like I still don't like try to copy their accent because they are born and brought up in Australia and I'm not. So that's fine. I have my neutral accent and that's my identity and that's fine. So you don't need to learn the accent, but you need to understand the cultural references that they make. So um, there are so many cultural references. I can't remember any particular one right now. I said like the cracking one, but that will happen only with time. You'll come here, you will listen to all of this. You will listen to your colleagues. You will listen to, even when you go to shops, you will listen to people over there, and that's how you will listen and learn. Watching TV shows over here, watching news, documentaries. That's how you will learn. And if you don't learn the Aussie accent, that's not the end to this world. It's absolutely fine to have your original Indian accent, like I have. And I interview a lot of Aussies because I work for the recruitment department of my organization. That's fine. I'm not an Aussie, so I don't know the accent. Just accept who you are. Okay. Okay. Can we work remotely for Sydney, Melbourne companies while living in any regional area? That's a very tricky question, Neha. Let me think. You're, I actually don't know. I mean, I will have to ask this to someone. I don't think so. Because the entire point of a 491 visa is to boost the economy of that region. So they would want you to work for a company that is in that particular region. For example, you're in regional South Australia, they would want you to work in regional South Australia and not anywhere else. So you can't work remotely for Sydney or Melbourne. They have enough people to work for them. They would want you to work for the regional area that you're assigned to. That's what logic says. Immigration department can be bonkers, so they can be like having some other rules, but I'm sure this is what they want. They wouldn't allow you to work for Sydney or Melbourne. Okay, let's move to the next question. Master of Education, Masters of Teaching, दोनों में से education and Masters of Teaching, दोनों में से ज़्यादा opportunities किसमें हैं? Isn't it the? I mean, Vandana, I have no idea. Um, I think teaching में है वैसे, because even the organization that I work with, we offer Masters of Secondary Teaching. So secondary secondary teaching ho ya sirf teaching ho, primary, that's fine. There are a lot of opportunities in teaching and I guess lesser opportunities in education. Since I'm here, how long does it understand their accent? I'm facing accent issues since I Pragya. It is Pragya's questions. I'm facing accent issues since I am here. How long does it did it took for you to understand the accent? Took me some time, took me some exposure. Um, would say a big thank you to my husband who pushed me every time. You go and order the food. You go and get the bill and do everything. Because अगर आप face नहीं करोगे अपने fears को, you will never learn. I remember my first interview. The thing I was most scared about was if I don't understand the accent, what happens next? Fortunately, I did understand the accent because my interviewer was, yeah, she's my colleague now. Really love her to the bits. But yeah, I did understand the accent. If you don't, just ask them, sorry, what was it? It's fine. There's so many people who are not, English is not the first language. समझने में टाइम लगता है बट मुझे अच्छा खासा टाइम लगा था आई वुड से 6 to 8 months. I'm sometimes still not confident, especially with the people who come to my place to do some kind of repair. They have like they have such an Aussie, heavy Aussie accent. They're like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sorry, what did you say? Oh, I need to sign the paper. Oh, okay, I need to do this. It takes time, but हाँ 6 से 8 महीने तो लगे ही थे. It will take time. Just be easy on yourself. Don't get underconfident because of this. English is not your identity. um but yeah, watch Aussie shows, उससे काफी help मिलती है. Um, um, and Pragya, please don't feel disheartened. I'm so worried about my upcoming interviews. Take, if you have any interview, you're not understanding the question, ask them to repeat. It's fine. They know English is not your first language. They looked at your resume, right? And that is why they scheduled an interview. So they probably know you are not an Australian. English is not your first language, so they will understand this. Second, if you are really scared and they're like, okay, tell me about a time when you did blah blah blah, and you're really scared, take a pause. It's okay if you take a pause. Please, I am a recruiter, guys. I really, with my hands folded, I request pause le lo. Yeah, I'll just take 5 minutes to answer that. No, don't take 5 minutes. I'll take 2 minutes to think about it and answer it. Have a smile and then think, and then, yeah, please answer it. डोंट बी स्कैर्ड. सबसे पहला मेंटल ब्लॉक, अगर आप मेरी तरह, अगर आपके भी दिमाग में यही आ गया कि एक्सेंट नहीं समझ आएगा तो क्या करेंगे, तो आई डोंट नो कि आप इंटरव्यू कैसे फेस करोगे. पहली इंटरव्यू के नाम पे डर बहुत होता है, एंड देन यू हैव दिस थिंग कि कैसे आंसर, मतलब एक्सेंट नहीं समझ में आया तो क्या होगा. दैट्स एन ऑब्स्टिकल, दैट्स अ मेंटल ऑब्स्टिकल. प्लीज डोंट think about this. But it will be fine. Just Pragya, just don't worry about it. Be your confident self. um yeah, you don't, until unless it's a recruiter job or you have a people facing role like I have, इतना बड़ा रोल प्ले नहीं करता है आपका एक्सेंट या आपकी इंग्लिश. Please don't be scared. And if you want more, like, if you want to talk to me more about this, please message me or DM me. What's it called? DM me on Instagram. Or my Instagram account is on my YouTube video. So it's Imi Australia, and I can chat with you over there. Please don't be scared, and all the best for your interview. You will get that job. Don't get scared. Let's move to the next question. Can we work remotely for Indian companies, or we are working from home even after getting paid from? Of course, you can work for Indian companies. Just let them know. झूठ मत बोलना, case हो सकता है, नेहा. Let them know you're in Australia. My husband worked for a while before like starting for a job in Australia. So he moved here. He was still searching for his job, but he did not resign from his job in India. And his manager knew every single thing. He worked for the Indian company till he got a job opportunity here, and that is when he resigned. And then he went. Oh, things were different then. He had a laptop, so he had to like literally go to India, submit the laptop and the badge, and then he came back and joined the Australian organization. So yes, you can work, but let your manager know. Pata chal gaya to, yeah, there can be action against you. How to get IT jobs in Australia after completion of BTech in India, ma'am? Um, I mean, you will. It's not about the job. Like I tell this to everyone. It's not just about the job, guys. You first need a visa, a work permit to work here. So you will have to apply, get your skills assessed, and get a visa that will give you the rights to work in Australia and then find a job. So अगर आपने BTech complete किया है, apply for a visa that you feel comfortable about. If you get that visa, then you can apply for jobs. Job पहले, visa बाद में नहीं हो सकता, until unless your employer is happy to sponsor your visa, which is not happening, to be very honest. You need a visa first and then job. You know what I mean? Okay. A lot of questions. Which is the best branch in BTech to get high salary job? Yeah, now I don't know. When I did my BTech, everybody did, so like people from all the different branches ended up in IT companies. Even mechanical engineers were in software companies. So I don't know. I don't know if BTech is the best option, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. I'm planning to study in Australia for masters in communication stream, in commerce stream. What are the scope for commerce students? I also want to apply in WA, so that's why I'm asking about WA. WA is really good, to be honest. Commerce, um, I wouldn't lie, not in, it's not in huge demand here. Um, there was a point in time where like accountants and finance and economics, all that was in demand. Currently, it's not a very high demand subject, to be very, very honest and transparent. WA is wonderful if you want to go there. Of course, go to WA. It's a beautiful place. Um, but yeah, commerce, yeah. I don't think it's a very high demand subject currently. Hello, how can we apply directly for a job in Australian company? I lost by an Australian and Indian scammer. They were offering thesis for it too. Guys, that's fine. Hussein, that's what I'm telling you. Please don't go. अगर कोई आपको कह रहा है कि मैं आपको जॉब दिला दूंगा और फिर आप वीजा अप्लाई करो, ऐसा नहीं होता है. That's not happening. Get a visa first and then apply for jobs. It's not going to happen the other way. You need a visa and then only you can work for a job. In And I'll tell you a very funny. It's not funny. It's a real life incident. Every time I applied for a job, the second or the third question they asked me was, "Do you have work rights to work in Australia? What visa do you have?" So you have to declare like I have this visa. Without that, they will not even look at your job application. So don't get scammed, please, guys. Oh my God, people are scamming. That's really bad. But yeah, there are all kind of people in this world, and you need to be fully aware of what's happening around. Um, Vandana, you will have to talk to your university. They give you like a counselor who can help you with all of these questions. So जो भी यूनिवर्सिटी है उसमें आपका जो काउंसलर है, स्टूडेंट काउंसलर, आप उनसे बात करो. They will definitely help you with course change and future job opportunities in the field. Continue to get electric. What are the best consultancies to get job in electrical engineering field with experience in India, ma'am? Please. See, again, there are no consult. I mean, थोड़ी मेहनत आप खुद करोगे तो आपको यहाँ job मिल जाएगी. You don't need consultancies, guys. To be very honest, they take a part of your salary as well. So, yeah, if you are here for 6 months and you didn't get a job, then maybe consultancies. I know a few consultancies who work like really hard and will help you to get a job. Um, it didn't work out for me. It worked out for some other friends of mine. But again, please get a visa. उसके बाद आप ट्राई करना जॉब के लिए आशीष. 491 right now, yes. Don't worry about it. Wait for your visa. Once you get the visa, job apply करना, you will get the job. ऐसा नहीं है कि jobs है ही नहीं यहाँ पे. The job market is opened up again after the COVID crisis, and yeah, there's a peak rise in the number of job openings. You will get a job. Please don't get trapped in these consultancies and scams. Is birth certificate necessary for Australian visa? My birth certificate has um oh, hey you. Depends on what kind of visa you're applying. Varna, um, but all other documents have okay. I think you need your birth certificate. Like for a partner visa, I applied for a partner visa. They wanted my birth certificate. Otherwise, you can get an affidavit saying that there was an error on your like. You can even get your birth certificate made again. I think so. That's possible in India. Otherwise, get an affidavit saying that your birth certificate was incorrect in your birth. Sorry, your birth date was incorrect in your birth certificate, and then get corrected. You need a birth certificate, guys. You need it. Even for like applying for a citizenship here, you need your birth certificate. So that's a very important piece of document. Um, how to make references? Pragya, I didn't get your question. If you're still here, can you please explain how to make references? Hi, I recently got my PR, Shivankit Arora. Congratulations! I mean, abhi PR milna bahut badi baat hai. Please enjoy, like enjoy. You'll get the job and everything. Just enjoy this moment. How to work at Australia? What are the necessary percentages? Skills required, ma'am. You will AM creations. You will have to talk to a registered migration agent who can help you with all the steps. या फिर आप खुद जाके ऑस्ट्रेलियन माइग्रेशन वेबसाइट पे अप्लाई कर सकते हो. It's not difficult, guys. You always don't need a migration agent to get your visa sorted. I applied for my partner visa on my own, and I never like for the first temporary visa I did apply through a consultant, but for the second phase where I applied for my permanent partner visa, I never used sorry, I never not used. I never applied through a consultant. I did it all on my own. It's very easy. So AM Creations, if you want to apply, just go to the migration website, read the steps. It's very clearly mentioned, and you can get that done. Hussein, thank you for answering. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Most welcome. Recently got my 189, planning to come in Australia in January. Can you guide me how to get the job hunt? I'm a chemical engineer having 9 years of experience in project sales. Be ready to upskilling. Be so Shivankit. Be ready to upskill if you need. Be ready to start your career from the scratch. Please start looking for start shortlisting the organizations you would like to work in. Send genuine LinkedIn requests to these people in the organization. Find people from your community if they are in Australia and connect with them. Ask them for referrals. 5 step hai, please do this. Um, Neha Singh is your channel? No, it's not. My channel is Amy Australia. Shruti, if you were asking that to me, my channel's name is Amy Australia. So Shivankit, again, not only just for Shivankit, for anyone who's planning to move to Australia to apply for a job, the first one is please shortlist the companies that you would like to work in. Try to find job openings over there. Try to get referrals from people if you know someone is working in the same organization. Search people in LinkedIn, send them genuine requests. Please don't spam them and be ready to upskill. And the last one is if you have to start your career from the scratch. My husband did start his career from the scratch, even after having like several years of experience in the IT industry. He did. Now he's earning pretty well. तो थोड़ा sacrifice करना पड़ता है. I also started my career from the scratch, to be very honest, guys. Um, what is the total cost to migrate Australia from India? Visa cost. You will know about this in one of my upcoming videos where my husband has talked about all the steps he took to migrate to Australia. I've also talked about cost. The cost changes. I think it's seven for 189. It's sorry, I will not give you vague numbers, but all the costs related to like जो भी fees लगता है वीजा का वो आपको माइग्रेशन वेबसाइट पे मिल जाएगा, so you can check that. Uh, have my PR. I'm planning to come to. So this, I think I'm like this is just last question. I have my PR. I'm planning to come to Australia in few months. I'm planning to do a part-time finance job. Is there any scope? Of course, part-time jobs are a huge hit here in Australia. If you want to apply for part-time jobs, most welcome. There are a lot of opportunities you can apply. Finance, yes, there is a lot of scope in finance. Um, you can apply for that. So don't worry about it. Briefly, I will touch about somebody wanted me to share my partner visa journey, and I will just talk about that. And it's already 47 minutes, so I will end the live in the next 5 minutes because it's Sunday and kal hai Monday, which means I have to work, and I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Not, I mean, kisko Monday pasand hai? Please raise your hands if you do. I don't like Mondays and Wednesdays. Anyways, let's start with my partner visa journey. Shruti, thank you. Most welcome, Shruti. Quickly, so I applied for my partner visa in 2019. Took 2 years, not 2 years, sorry. It took exactly 1 year for me to get my uh, temporary partner visa. And then, so I applied it in Feb 2019, got it in January 2020. Wow, very perfect timing. And then I got an email this year, Feb, in 2021 Feb, that I can now apply for subclass 100, which is my permanent partner visa. I haven't got that approved yet. So I've applied it. I've done all of that on my own, all the documents, all the papers, everything on my own. So very easy. That is why I'm telling you guys, if you feel you can manage the entire visa application process on your own, please do it. You don't need to like spend a lot of money giving to consultants. They charge you hefty amount of money, like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 तो वो ले जाते हैं. They do the work also. I'm not denying they don't work for you, but yeah, if you can manage that, you can save those money. You can save that money, um, and you can use it when you move to Australia. क्योंकि यहाँ आने के बाद भी आपके खर्चे बहुत सारे होने वाले हैं. So you have to save that. You should save that money if you can. If you feel you're not confident, please yeah, seek help of a registered migration agent that can help you with the visa application process. Okay, now the last thing I would want to talk about is that I know a lot of you have a lot of questions about jobs, um, and which city is the best and kitne paise chahiye and what to do, what not to do. So there's a very big announcement coming pretty soon where I'll just give you a slight hint where you will have an opportunity to talk to me one on one and ask your questions. I am also planning what's the rent of the houses in Australia. Depends how big your house is. Um, Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, if you want someone to answer your migration questions, maybe we can get that as well. Um, so yeah, I am just planning that. A lot of things in the pipeline. I hope whatever I'm facing gets sorted by next week. So my video should be up next week, same time. So I will see you guys next week with a video, not a live. I might do a live on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram ID is Imi_Australia. You can follow me there, and we can chat about the questions that you have. How many years of experience you had? So my experience doesn't count because I in the IT field because I switched my field and I started working in the not-for-profit sector and I had a partner visa which did not consider my work experience. My husband had 2000 he had like 7 or 8 years of experience in the IT industry, and he got his PR in 2007, 16, 17. So, yeah, he had lots and lots of years of experience then. Yeah, 2017, he migrated in 2017. He got his visa in 2016, migrated in 2017, and I moved in 2019. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, send me your questions there, and you will see a lot of new videos coming up pretty soon. Also, if I'm going to go live anytime soon, I will announce it on my channel on the community tab. So keep checking that for any announcement that I make. And stay safe, guys. I will just try to answer the last few questions if I have any. जॉब नहीं की चल रही थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मुझे जॉब लेनी हो तो जॉब एक्सपीरियंस होना जरूरी नहीं है वंदना यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच there's you don't have to worry कि experience नहीं है तो मुझे यहाँ job नहीं मिलेगी that's fine. How many years of experience? Okay, I've answered this. And what is my salary? My salary is uh, I would say just the starter beginner's salary because I started my career from the scratch here in Australia. All right, guys. I think I should have dinner. It's 9 o'clock. Stay safe, and I will see you in my next video or on Instagram. Bye.